get in so much trouble for just telling the truth. Cause remember when gangster rap was so motherfucking politically incorrect? When somebody would like lose their deal if they cursed and shit. Now what somebody would lose their deal for? If they tell the truth. So that means they all been lying to you. They've been lying to you. But we ain't gonna take this no more.
See, I'm not one of them niggas that know a lot about a little. I know a little about a lot, bitch. I might not be the brightest candle on the cake, but bitch, I'm lit.
I had found enlightenment. I had become a Buddha, an awoken one. The mind has a terrible enemy. His name is Mara, and he seeks to tempt and destroy. If I did not fear death, death had no power. Watching the moon that long night, I slowly understood that the way to avoid suffering is to free yourself from wanting anyone or anything, to be ready always to give and receive. I had found enlightenment.
Empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. The water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
Okay, ready? I'm gonna be.
Bitch on the ride of my back like a Mustang. I gotta watch on my wrist is a bust down. See ya. I'm tryna hop on a flight out of town. See ya. But I send my baby to bring it right round. See ya.
Yo, it's your boy like Buddha Mike back at it again. How's everybody doing out there in YouTube land? Get it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Staring is caring, y'all. Staring is caring.
My friends be like, how come you not famous yet? I be like, you didn't share my shit. How come you ain't shared it yet?
DJ in the building, yo. What it do, DJ? How's it going? Having a good Tuesday. I'm doing it early because I got a game later on. You know what I'm saying? Gotta play the cards. Gotta get that good luck in there, you know what I'm saying? Get them good magic cards. Pull that money out of that pack. You know what I mean? Let's get it though.
Good morning, folks. Welcome, observers. It is Friday, July 10th, 2026, and today we're covering space weather, including the appearance of a telltale sign that solar maximum is ending. We also have a look at major cosmology news from the most distant reaches of the universe and an outstanding electric space energy forcing study, and we're starting with our star.
Hey there. This is just a friendly reminder that a fruit is the seed-bearing ripened ovary of a flowering plant. That's why something like a tomato is a fruit, because it has seeds and it comes from a flower. Well, a vegetable is just
government propaganda.
Shout out to this creator because this is absolutely true. So I took plant biology in college and I was astounded to learn that basically vegetables don't exist. For instance, these are all fruit. And a lot of these are berries. A pumpkin is a berry. A zucchini is a berry. It's really cool. Anyway, what I didn't know that he just taught me is that all of these things come from the same plant. What? That's crazy. The point that I want to make that this creator made too is that the government will lie to you about absolutely anything. They'll lie to you about absolutely anything. You believed to your core that vegetables were a real thing, that they were like calculated, right? Like they calculated them and they were like, this is the percentage of vegetables we need to eat, when vegetables don't exist, when they're just using fruit. They're just using fruit. And you know why? My bet that they lied about all these fruits, they said half these things are vegetables and not fruits at all, is because if they were honest about it, it probably would lead to much gratitude to women. Because if you think about it, these plants create their womb, and it's the freest food on earth. They just give it to you. They create something delicious that nourishes life. They create with their own nutrients something that sustains life, and they just give it. They just give it for free. And that's what women do. That's in our nature. We create nutrients. We use our nutrients to create life and sustain life, and we give it. Give it away. Generously, lovingly, we give it away. But if everyone realizes that their guacamole is just a fruit salad by a generous woman womb, then they probably will have too much gratitude to women. So it's rebellious to be like, no, it's not a vegetable. Vegetables don't exist. It's a womb of a woman. Fruit of the womb. Fruit of the womb. Also, alongside that, just quick note, as a polymath, if they taught plant biology correctly, you could learn about electricity and harmonics just by plants. But they are lying to you, and they have
Hey, somebody better check this lady, see if she's eating babies, talking about fruit,
it's made to be confusing.
and whatnot.
It's seriously made to be confusing.
I mean, she ain't wrong about the trees and all that stuff providing us fruits and natures and shit, you know what I'm saying? But shit couldn't self-pollinate unless they're hermaphrodite. And then the birds and the bees wouldn't be doing their business. So, all nature. Only natural to be a provider and nourish. You know what I'm saying? Gotta be nurturing and providing. That's all.
Since nobody else want to say it and everybody want to act like they ignoring their intuition, I'm going to be the one to say it. Most of them black people that's been found hanging this year has been hung by cops. Yes, by the police. These cases are closing as soon as they open. Most of them are being ruled, almost all of them are being ruled a suicide. It don't matter if their arms is broken, if their shoulder was dislocated, if they was 9 feet high, if they was beaten first. All of them, most of them are being ruled off as suicides. Like I said, as soon as these cases are open, they are closed, shut. So like I said, we could keep acting like we ignoring the truth. We know who are hanging these. Y'all act like y'all don't know it's Ku Klux Klan members in every precinct. And if it's not none in the precinct, it's one running the precinct. Yo, call outside the lines, babe.
He ain't wrong either. He is not
Since
wrong.
nobody else want to say it and everybody want to act like they ignoring their intuition, I'm going to be the one to say it. Most of them black people that's been found hanging this year has been hung by cops.
I knew it. I knew it. I'm telling you. Shh, don't you even say it. Something is going on here, guys. I told you about the woods. I told you. Could it be? Could it be that that's how it goes when you're in the woods? People always say the truth is hidden in movies. I've been saying it for the longest, bro. Something is going on in the woods. And nobody's usually out there, so it makes sense. Just imagine that. You walking by a place that looks like straight woods, but it's a hidden door. What's going in there and what's coming out of there? Shut up! This is wild. And it got me thinking. Because we don't know what's in the woods, just like we don't know what's in the ocean. We don't know. We're in the city.
Let's not forget that. The A's are in the W. And the A's are in the W, if you know what I mean. Who's this? Huh? Who is this lady right here doing that with her eye? Because she's the reason why the door opened. I'm just playing around, guys. Entertainment purposes only. That's not true. Ain't nothing in the woods with some deers and some bears and some bobcats and some squirrels. Who knows? I don't know. Let me know what you think. I'm out.
Hey man, we try and get like you, Brody. Shit, you giving us the information we trying to know. But hey, y'all out there in the woods and y'all find the door, man. I'll walk through it, but mark it so you know where to go. That's all you gotta know.
Like I was like, well, it's showing that he's back on land. Like I'm not. He was like, but no, he didn't come back with us.
Well, how were you able to get the phone?
So we tracked it, and my friend Tashima went and picked it up.
It wasn't like they said we got his phone. They tracked it, and that highlights all these contradictions, Michael. The fact that they said Nolan was talking to a young woman, and she said that he said, I'm going back to get on the boat with the boys. The boys said that he said he was going to stay with her. And so that's an obvious contradiction. And then this video of this, you can hear an argument going where Nolan is saying, give me my freaking phone. What are you freaking doing? And so then his phone ends up missing. I don't know any teenagers, Michael Strahan, who says, if you believe their story, I'm going to stay behind and I'm going to leave my phone. I mean, no young person leaves their cell phone. And so then there's so many things their parents were telling us about, even why didn't his body wash up with the tide on Sunday? Why would it come on Monday? It's not adding up. And that is the problem when you think about the history of Mississippi.
Yeah, so there's so many questions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That boy was beaten from the neck down, guys. Hear it? Hear it? When they took it over to get autopsy, this dude had lesions and shit from beating and it didn't drown. You know what I mean? So we know what it is. People was all racist. They all tied in. Tied in.
So Ben Crump's team has officially confirmed that there were text messages that were deleted from Nolan Xavier Wells' phone before it was returned to his parents. And it's like, we're stating the obvious at this point. It doesn't make sense that somebody would want to stay on an island where you know you have to find a way back home. You have to get on a boat to return back to the mainland. And you're not going to want to have your phone on your person? Be so serious right now. I need us to all think critically. So we need to know what were in those text messages and why they were deleted. Because what we're also seeing is people trying to introduce different things to try to make what happened to Nolan make sense. Like the tide might have been high, or he might not have been a great swimmer, or introducing the idea of substances. None of that makes sense in this instance or matches what we're seeing play out in front of our faces. Now, Ben Crump has also revealed that the family is seeking their own independent investigation and autopsy, and that he is being flown out to D.C. for that to happen because they want to make sure that the investigation is not able to be tampered with by anybody who was involved in this situation. And we are not going to stop talking about it until his family gets answers, because the math is not mathing.
Yeah, that math is not really math. Like it's too many shit that's saying, oh, hide this shit there, dump this here, clean this, we're gonna clean this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just trippy as fuck. And then they try to play us like we the dummies, but we ain't.
Wait, major update on Nolan. So you're telling me the news and police lied that Nolan friends did not give back his phone to the mom? The mom had to track the phone? Wait, major update on Nolan. So you're telling me the news and police lied that Nolan friends did not give back his phone to the mom? The mom had to track the phone down and go to the friend house and make them give the phone back. where both his Snapchats have been wiped of everything that happened that day in conversation. Then they lied about not knowing where Nolan car keys was to the where they homegirl said, Cap, the keys is on top of the Xbox. She seen him put it there. And his homeboys had to go get it. The dad took a boat to the island on July 5th to try to find his body. They could not find it. He went missing July 4th. But he magically appeared July 6th? There were people on the island and all. No one seen a body float. On July 6th when no one was there, that's when the body appeared? Yo, do you think we stupid? Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know what Mississippi Sheriff Department got going on. But at this point, a higher power needs to investigate this. Bring the FBI or private investigators. Because clearly the Sheriff Department got some other meat.
Yeah, they definitely the ops. I mean, I guess that's why it's in the name, right? Cop. Ops.
I am fed up. This is not a racial thing. I'm tired of pretending like that shit ain't happening. We're talking about Mexicans being rapists. We're talking about Mexicans being immigrants. We're talking about black people robbing and stealing and killing each other. But ain't nobody talking about white people fucking children. And it's overwhelmingly. I'm fucking tired, bro. I'm hurt. I'm fed up. That's all it is. Why are we pretending like this shit's okay? They have this domination thing, bro. They feel like equality is the end of their domination. They don't feel, they're weak men. They don't feel powerful unless people are suffering, unless women are under them. And that's the same, that's why those people go after those children. It's got nothing to do with being horny. Why men rape had nothing to do with being horny. They get horny from the idea of rape. It's the rape that makes them horny. It's the idea that they can do this to a child that turns them on. It's the power dynamic. They're weak fucking men. That's why they become elitists. That's why they become these ultra billionaires, because then they can do what the fuck they want and pay people off and fuck with these kids. And nobody's saying anything. And for all you bitch ass motherfuckers, if you got over 100,000 followers and you ain't said nothing, I don't give a fuck who you are. If you ain't said nothing about what's going on today, you're a piece of fucking shit.
That part. That part.
Black people are being lynched all around the country right now. They are being found hanging from trees in public spaces. They're also going missing. They're also being murdered in lots of other ways as well. And I can assure you there is no debate here. No debate whatsoever. Black people do not hang themselves from trees in public. That is not a debate. That is not the world we live in. Don't even try. Now, instead of giving high-level details about all of the people and all of the situations, I recommend, honestly, just leave this video if you feel like it and go to Black creators that are talking about it. They're going to have way better insight on this situation than I am. However, there are things that I can talk about as a white human being on the internet, and that's the privilege that I have when I walk into a room or I enter a situation that Black people simply don't have. And I can use that privilege to support the Black community, and so can you. So if you look like me, let's have a conversation real quick. When I walk into an establishment, I am not immediately judged as somebody who is lesser than, who is going to steal, who is going to harm somebody, who is probably carrying a weapon. That doesn't typically happen, but that does happen with Black people. So I have that privilege of walking into somewhere and people not immediately seeing me as a threat. And when I see somebody assuming a Black person is a threat, I have the ability to physically put myself in that situation in between the two to either de-escalate it or to push that focus onto me rather than them. This can happen in a situation where a police officer is involved and that police officer is kind of being weird, kind of looking at people weird. This can happen in a situation where there are microaggressions, where there's racism, where an establishment is just like, you know, people are following Black people around the grocery store, whatever it is. There's lots of situations that pop up every single day. The second you walk outside, it'll probably happen. You have the ability to physically put yourself in that situation and to, again, either de-escalate or have the escalation moved towards you. The focus is now on you, the person who is probably not going to get harmed or go to jail or get shot dead because they decided to have a confrontation. That situation is a hard reality for Black people all around the country, all around the world. White supremacy is getting worse and worse. And what I mean by that, it's already existed, it's existed for forever, but the openness of white supremacy and racism is astronomically bad right now. And if you have any heart, if you are white and you have the ability to stand up for the Black community, you better fucking do it, because white supremacy is going to keep getting worse. And if it keeps getting normalized because nobody's saying anything or doing anything or redirecting things towards them where it's not a dangerous situation anymore, then Black people are going to keep being found fucking hanging from trees.
I like the way they put that, you know what I'm saying? It's never right. Never ever right. Let that be one of my family members, boy. Keep moving.
Yaldabaoth and the Archons create Adam. Sophia, in attempt to weaken her flawed creation, intervenes. A portion of divine power, ultimately originating from the higher realms, is breathed into Adam. Sophia secretly places divine light within humanity. Adam becomes more intelligent and spiritually luminous than his creators. The Archons realize that humanity contains something they do not fully possess. Humans therefore possess something greater than their creator. Yaldabaoth becomes jealous because people carry a connection to the higher divine realm. This explains why Yaldabaoth continually attempts to keep humanity ignorant.
But we getting there. Somewhere.
The Hurricane rising of Sirius.
Wait, why you keep not playing? That's starting to get a little irritating.
The Hurricane rising of Sirius starts on July 23rd, and I think it ends somewhere in August. I know Dog Days. You know when it ends, anybody? Anyway, it's Dog Days. Most people down south used to follow Dog Days because it was the summer in the early part of September. But anyway, Dog Days are days when people have a lot of spiritual upliftment, especially Black people. And that's why those summer months is when Sirius is the closest to the earth, and also the melanin within you and your psychic powers is enhanced more. That's why during the summer months they try to give you more, like I said before, try to give you more concerts, more festivals, more music things, more this, more that, to cool you out. Because these are days that you can have out-of-body experiences in Dog Days. And also during Christmas. And that's the reason why you eat more turkey and more ham and more bullshit during Christmas, was because those are days that they know that you can have spiritual upliftments in the dead of winter and in the dead of summer. You see what I'm saying? In the rising of summer. Christmas is some of those days is days too, those spiritual days, which would be the winter solstice. And the summer is the summer solstice, and you have the spring equinox and the fall equinox. Always plan spiritual things around those particular days. There's certain dates that certain portholes open up, and it's spiritual days that you're supposed to basically utilize those particular days. So
We'll get on that. I'll do that right now. Right now.
Why is it a low vibrational motherfucker trying to project their fears onto you? You can't do that. You can't live carefree. Bitch, why can't I? You know what type of access I got, ho? This is God body, bitch. Just because you're not wrapped too tight, you no feature having NPC. This is the premium package, you basic bot. J5, don't you die.
Oh, basic bot build ass motherfucker. I ain't no NPC, man. I was a motherfucking yield master around this bitch. I'm trying to give people jobs. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it. Fuck, hell.
They hear the esoteric teachings of our
Who in the
land,
building?
of this planet, of this realm, Atlantis. Right? They lied about how the map is shaped. They lied about our brothers and sisters who are other Atlanteans, if you want to call us that. They call them Lemurians, and they tell you that Lemuria was a civilization that came before Atlantis to completely cut you off from the truth that no, it did not. The Lemurians are our brothers and sisters who were Atlanteans who got stuck behind those other two ice walls. We are in the first ice wall, which they call Antarctica, but it's land behind that ice wall of Antarctica. And they call all our brothers and sisters over there Lemurians, or Lemuria. Right? So, everything that ever was or ever will be already exists. Let me repeat that. Everything that ever was or that ever will be already exists. But it exists on different frequencies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What frequency is you exist now? So obviously we on a higher one. We uplifting over here. Gifted. You know what I'm saying? It's all bliss. Learn how to love with no loss. Keep it
If
up,
black
all.
people are not being in your neighborhood, the assumption is that like everything's just fine. Everything is not just fine. We are not that far removed from this shit. Do you know who this is? It's Ruby Bridges. Nigga, Ruby Bridges has an Instagram. She don't even look old. She look young. The idea that the first African American to enter a desegregated school is still alive and is younger than the two most recent U.S. presidents is insane. Because niggas think that this shit was so long ago. Bro, my parents were born during the civil rights movement. We're not even a full generation removed. The generation that had to go through this shit is still here. We're not even a decade removed from the George Floyd incidents. And Black Lives Matter. And talking about the disproportionality of like incarceration and like all of this other shit. Like these are ongoing issues. Ongoing. But I think that a lot of people think that
I mean, it is. Dude, how you been, Brody? Good over there in the hood? Yeah, hopefully everything crack-a-lacking. Get it. Keep it moving.
Everyone down there has a spirit. And 98% of what we deal with in the spirit realm is based on the spirit according to your body. But the soul is something totally different. The soul is where the spirit comes from. The spirit is merely a simulation of the soul. It is merely the energy that houses the soul. And the body houses the spirit. The soul is literally another universe and another entity within itself. It is an alien. It is the real you outside of the dream of who you think you are. The spirit has to deal with the dream and a series of illusions and a series of energies is cast off from the dream. But the soul is that which is really dreaming. Once the soul starts to wake up, it's no different than a new entity or a new person waking up inside of you, although it is who you really are. The other part of who you think you are is what you were when your soul was dreaming. But when your soul wakes up, you become a whole nother person, and your dreams subside, and your soul becomes the driving factor. In my particular case, the last 3 years from 2001 on up into now is my soul has had a series of awakenings. In the particular aspect that it's coming of age now until I've had 2 bouts of going to no self.
Oh man. Okay. A little bit of a lot to process, but shit. So we've been sleeping time, yeah. Everybody waking now. So mine happened around 2012. But like you said, man, we grew up. My mom is from that era, you know, civil rights era shit. Fucked up shit. So he was out there in the fields with them because her parents were racist. That's why I said, like I said it, like I'm part uh what I want to be and what I don't want to be. You know what I'm saying? But I have to mix it and then make it something that I ain't because that's what they are. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna do that part because be what I am, like Popeye the Sailor Man. So I'm just gonna be me. I don't want to be nobody else but me. Keeping on perspectives that I can only see. I don't even talk to that side of the family anyway. Technically, I don't talk to each side. Be on my own shit. Angela died.
According to NASA, they just said the aliens that's supposed to come in here in November resemble African Americans. Allegedly. Hell no. And they said that they supposed to be 7 foot tall. The fuck? If that's the case, we already know why they coming back here for. I just hope they ass don't be aggressive though. Yo, bro. You me, I'm you. Remember this summer, the Pentagon said that the Anunnaki would be back in the next 2 years. And then boom, now NASA saying they look like African Americans. It's a lot of truth that's gonna come out. There's a lot of truth that's been hidden. About who we are as a people. What this planet is. Where this shit come from. Why I couldn't be 7 foot. What y'all niggas putting me, y'all stopped my shit from being 7 foot. I could've went to the league, bitch. And apparently somebody gotta be in communication with them, y'all. I just don't understand. How do you know when these people about to be aggressive? Y'all said they coming in 2 years. The fuck they booked a vacation? Are y'all talking to them and they like, they own that or something? I don't know. How do y'all even, do they talk like us? I'm just saying somebody gotta know their true purpose. Cause how can you just randomly just say this, that they gonna be aggressive? How do they know? Or what if they here already? Or what if they in the Pentagon NASA?
Saying these people ain't never left. I don't know why the fuck they talking about this. We still gotta worry about people who put together some kind of alien or animal person hybrid, you know, human animal hybrid, and then they're gonna call it an alien. Try to transgress it off to us. What they're doing is make chimeras, right? Basically, right? And then they try to feed us shit. Like if you get this jab, it is fight off the 19. But really, what we're gonna inject you with is chimera DNA. So you're gonna be a test subject. So I didn't pander or do anything into that one. I'm like, no, I'm good. Keep moving.
When you're chosen, you're going to attract observers before you attract allies, because light doesn't just guide you. It also exposes your motherfucking ops. That's why when you're chosen, you can't fuck with everybody, because too many connections is going to make your modem crash. So that's why you got to manifest quietly, because you never heard a tree grow. You never heard nothing in nature grow. Everything is done quietly. Before they attack you, they scrutinize everything that you do. So that's why I keep telling people, when you leveling up, that circle is going to get smaller and smaller. Why? Because authentic people don't fit in society. Those are the chosen ones. Listen, The vast majority of people on your timeline, they're not following you, they're monitoring you. They don't like your energy, they don't support your path, but they keep you on their damn screen like a spiritual security camera. That's not support, that's surveillance. So, when people follow your content with irritation instead of inspiration, they're feeding off competition, not connection. So if they follow you and they never celebrate you, they never share nothing, they never uplift, they never like nothing, they're not in your community, they're actually your opposition. So this is why they watch every damn thing that you do in hopes of you failing.
Mm-hmm. Keep on watching what you're watching, man. Keep on 60. Yeah, as long as I'm breathing. Let's get to know what Levi up to, though. You know what I'm saying? Back to the serpent.
That need to hear this. Fuck these concentration camps of what people been telling you. If you are not prepared for the destruction that come, you're going to need them. You're going to need them. These ain't going to be re-education camps, all right? These are going to be camps that's going to be put together to help feed the influx of people coming from the West Coast to the East Coast because of the destruction that is coming. It is imminent. It is imminent. They are not moving like this for no apparent reason, all right? If I can figure this out with me and my little laptop here sitting in my house, they know. They know, all right? Now, they have to keep you in fear. They can never tell you that you live on a serpent. What you live on is alive. They tell you all the time, Mother Earth is alive. They just never explain to you what Mother Earth really is. I have, multiple times. I don't care if you believe me or not. I've predicted all of these earthquakes and showed everyone where they were going to come, where they were going to happen. I've also showed everybody why they're happening. You can need to hear this. Fuck these concentration camps of what people been telling you. If you are not prepared for the destruction that come.
Yeah, man. Don't go in none of these places where they're going to try to help you out, talking about we got food and shelter. In a community, you venture out and make your own diagnosis of what your neighbors are and who you see and who helps. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these people are only in it for themselves and shit. And they'll probably take advantage of somebody in a situation like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's always good to like actually have somebody in your family who's outgoing and go around walking around and shit talking. You know, their perspective. Gotta find people who like minded, man. You can't just be going out there fucking clowning around, you know what I'm saying? Motherfucking Jesters is known as Poison and King, you know? But shit, set up the whole thing.
Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, the Sun, Venus, Mercury, the Moon, and then the eighth sphere is the Moon, the Earth. And these are the rings. And Saturn is the Lord of the rings. And this is the emanation where we come from, the primum mobile, unconditioned consciousness. And we go down and we perform 12 labours. And we have 7 vices and 7 virtues, 7 everything, 7 days of the week, 7 musical notes, 7 chakras. These are the Ra's. You see, this is the radius. This is Isis, Ra, and El. It's all the same science. There it is, with the Lamb of God, Rama, up high. Always. There it is. As above, so below. You've got to look up, idiot. If you don't look up first, well then how are you going to work out what's below? Man is the measure of the universe. This temple is the temple of the living God. It's made in the image of God. It's not made in the image of some blueprint found in some dirty old factory. It was made from the crystalline sea, from the primum mobile, where all beautiful forms come from. There is the analema. This is what happens, this figure 8 is what happens, there it is, analema. So what you've got here is, every year, this is the shape that the sun makes in the sky. There you go. That's the 8, the figure 8 that the sun makes when it goes from solstice to solstice through equinox. This is the winter portion and this is the summer portion. So you see, this is much, much bigger. Okay, yeah, so this is summer, starting from, so we've got, let's start from Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo. So there's your summer, and then you go down for the winter, and you get this, and that's the figure 8. The sun is always making this shape in the skies. This is Karnak in France. Notice the spelling, same as Egyptian. What are all these stones doing there? Megalithic stones in Karnak. Miles and miles of stones. Miles of stones. This is Konark. Karnak, Sun Temple in India. This is also in the province or the region in India, one of the biggest regions, called Orissa. O-R-I-S-S-A. Orissa is Osiris. Osiris is the sun. And you see these beautiful wheels? There's 24 hours a day. And the carvings in this temple are second to none. This was a work of art. This is equal to the Taj Mahal, Angkor Wat, Karnak. This is how much the sun was loved. This is the sun, Ra. See, people used to know the science and used to pay respect to the science. And they made these temples, I'll get to that word in a minute, to memorialize the God therein. This is the memorial of the sun and saying thank you to the sun for giving us life and sustaining us. Today, we just go to McDonald's, you know, and eat plastic poo, and therefore you've got a society of people who have got mushy brains. They know nothing. They look at this and they go, oh, God, look what the devil did. Oh, Satan is trying to destroy the believers. Look what the unbelievers are doing. Yeah.
What I do, Santos Panacia. Let me check out that real quick for you. Figure out the digits. So we ain't giving you off knowing. Okay. Oh, I just need 525 now. 525. You're almost there. Almost there. Gotcha. You're gonna be there though. You believe. I believe. I believe. All right, let's keep going though. I had donkey on my brain.
In 1871, the banks incorporated the United States and called the United States a corporation. And when they created the District of Columbia, what they did was they put that corporation in the District of Columbia. And they said that the members of Congress were actually managers of that corporation. And they said the President of the United States was actually the president of that corporation. So we're not living in the country that we think we're living in. And what I've actually done is I have said that we are under something called state capture. And I have said that there is an interregnum. And if you look that word up, that means that we don't have a legitimate government. And when the founding fathers wrote this Constitution, they realized that the bankers were trying to pull a fast one on us and to try to take over our governance. And so they put in a safety mechanism, and there's something called Article 5, which says that when 2/3 of the state legislatures request an amendment, that the Congress is required to convene a constitution to consider amendments. And the Congress was supposed to do that back in 1929. They've been in contempt of the American people. They haven't given us the opportunity to get our original Constitution back. They haven't even told us that we are not operating under our original Constitution. They've been lying to us.
In the chat, man, I need that action. Need that clack, click, clack, click. You know what I'm saying? Need that algorithm helped out, you know? Share, comment, and subscribe, baby.
Since the Native Americans are so smart, and you got your degrees and you know every goddamn thing, then why aren't you guys getting up here discussing the 1924 Racial Integrity Act? I told y'all to leave me the fuck alone, but y'all wanted to push. So let's motherfucking press these motherfucking pipes. And surprisingly, this document or this bill was passed the same year that you guys were able to call yourselves Native American. I broke this down in 2 parts. Yes, we're reading the entire thing. Buckle your seatbelts. And I'm finna give you hoes a little Daryl. You might as well go ahead and call Bonnet Boss. It says Senate Bill 219 to preserve racial integrity passed the House in 1924 of March 8th. And it's now a law of the state. Oh, I can't wait to jump into the gold. This bill aims at correcting a condition which only the more thoughtful people of Virginia know the existence of. It is estimated that there are in the state of from 10,000 to 20,000, possibly more, near white people who are known to possess an intermixture of colored blood. Now, before I finish, I need all of y'all Native Americans to drop that meme that y'all have been passing around of the the identity crisis of the Negro. Y'all go ahead and drop that before I finish, because y'all know we were classified several times, but y'all don't believe us. Let's keep going. In some cases, to a slight extent, it is true, but still enough to prevent them from being white. Oh. In the past, it has been possible for these people to declare themselves as white, or even to have the court so declare them. They have demanded the admittance of their children into the white schools, and in not a few cases have intermarried with white people. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that the only intermarried that we had to worry about was the Cherokees and the Europeans. I didn't know that the coloreds and the Negroes had that to worry about as well. I mean, maybe in 1924, because that's after the slavery was abolished, right? Let's keep going. They exist as distinct colonies holding themselves aloof from Negroes. So y'all didn't believe us when we said that our terms were interchangeable. But I just proved to you that we got colored and now we got Negro. Let's keep going. But not being admitted by the white people as of their race. Y'all ready? In any large gathering or school of colored people, there goes that word again, especially in the cities, many will be observed who are scarcely distinguishable as colored. These persons, however, are not white in reality, nor by the new definitions of this law. That a white person is with one with no trace of the blood of another race, except that a person with 1/16 of the American Indian. So if this document was to prevent Caucasian people or colored people who could pass as Caucasian from passing as Caucasian, then why are they called American Indian?
Yeah, man. Let's keep it moving. Yeah. All I say is yo. All I say yo.
So while I was gone, I saw that new documentary about Rashad Jamal, aka Divine Insight. Let's go ahead and break this down real quick, because you should have knew I was gonna dive into this. Come on now. So, first of all, for people who are gonna watch this documentary and don't know who this man was, they're gonna paint him as a cult leader. He was never a cult leader. They're gonna say he did heinous crimes that he never did. And it's crazy how these people will paint him as this negative image when they've done way worse, but he was talking about what they were doing. So they painted him as the negative individual. And I'm not mistaken, I believe his wife had a hand in making this documentary, which is very upsetting for me because of the fact that he was his number, you know what I mean, he was right there next to the man. You know this man wasn't like that. But let's get into the actual full litany of what I want to say about this documentary. First of all, this documentary is going to be nothing but falsified information. This man never did anything when it came down to harming kids in Missouri. I was living in Missouri. He never did none of those things that they said that he did. This man would come on this internet, he'd go on YouTube, he'd have lives. He had the only free university that you could have went to join to learn all of this information. He charged nothing. He never incited anybody to go do anything negligent. He never incited for people to be, he said, yeah, you're going to be angry. And they scared of that anger. He was waking people up. He was really putting people on, especially black people, to what's really going on in this realm. That's what happened. And so whenever you get to a certain level where you have a huge following that they can't control, they call you a cult leader. Now, am I going to say every cult was the same situation? No, but there's a nice majority. If you go do research and really dive deep down those rabbit holes without losing yourself, you will come to find out that a nice majority of some of these cults and cult leaders were just spiritual individuals who actually gained a huge following. That's really all that happened. They called him a internet terrorist. He was never terroristic when it came to his information. All he did was speak on the quantum and metaphysical levels of what we was going through and what this world was doing to us. So, a little insight on this whole situation about who he was as a person and things that he used to do. This man would go out on the street, spitting the information out for people. He'd be out there like a crazy, remember in the movies, the crazy man who was always trying to, throw the information. That was him. He wasn't crazy though. He would go out there and try to throw this information out, waking up all people that he could. He was a rapper. He was a father. This man was actually not even a pretty great, amazing individual that they have painted in a huge negative light, and they locked him up because he was speaking on what we're going through in this light code lockdown. You have to really open your eyes and understand that they're going to continuously paint images of people because we're getting to the end game. We're already in the end game, but we're getting closer to the end. They are going to continuously paint people as negative entities and negative individuals, when the negative entities are the ones painting the picture. And that shows through the way that we live life. A little bit of information for the people who follow Rashad Jamal. I'm never going to ever in life tell you to stray away from verbally saying that, I followed that man. That not follow, but I was a student of his. Because what y'all don't know is in other realms, especially realms up above this one, this is the lowest realm that we're on, he's a teacher. He teaches a majority of us what we're going through and things that we're doing, how to use our powers, how to moderate on this realm. He teaches us all of that. So when they paint this image of this man, please understand that it is false. I'm trying to articulate the information as best as possible, but it's all false. None of that is true. He was on camera in his kitchen, posted up just like this. See if I get it. I can't find a list there. He's posted up like this. And he just talking. He going on about all the things that's happening in the world. That's all he was doing. There was never none of those negative things that they put in there.
That's real talk. Real talk. He's telling us about the people after him and everything. While he was playing. That was real talk. Keep moving on, y'all.
Let me ask you a question, TikTok. Knowing what I had already told you about Venezuela before they brought the ships in and started bombing, I told you what was there, and I already told you about the earthquakes. Now, knowing that information, let's talk about Maduro. Whenever they went and captured Maduro, did they capture him? Or was he evacuated because they already knew the fate of Venezuela? Now, I'm asking you this only because if I knew the fate of Venezuela and they've done everything they can to silence me from talking about the dragons, and if you don't understand what's down there in the dragons, just know this. The name of their oil and gas project is the Dragon Gas Project in Venezuela. Okay?
Scotty, cool with it. Dude, let's be honest. You already know 9 times out of 10, bro, once I get monetized, these motherfuckers gonna ban my shit, bro. I already know it. But I'm prepared for that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I got Cash App and all that shit. See? We keep it moving. We ain't fooling. We just moving.
If your blood type is O positive and you have an Indian family tradition, a history of being Indian in your family, even if you're dark skinned, if your blood type is O or A, any form of O or A, you are probably from a Native American family that has been illegally racially reclassified as color. I am the hereditary chief of a tribal nation that is in the process of seeking our federal recognition. As you see, I have paperwork from the government, from Indian departments. I'm not one of these people that's just talking. I show communication that I've had and that I've been having for years. I've shown you the genealogy.
Real talk. Just make sure y'all ARO get our damn land rights back, y'all. Claim them damn land rights, y'all. That's what it's all about, man. Get that land back. Shit, I know once Lemuria Lemuria comes up out of water, I'm going over there. I'm getting fucked up over there. What up, smoke cheddar? Let's get it. Let's get it.
Y'all have to excuse my car sounding like a lawnmower. But the internet was made to communicate through dimensions. So the internet was made to communicate through dimensions. As above, so below, as within, so without. Same way with this ice wall, same way with this dimensional wall. You have a firewall for a reason. And this is the very reason why Tesla wasn't acknowledged for his work, because he was communicating with otherworldly entities. So your firewall, which isn't the only one, it'll block you from getting encrypted messages. It'll block you from getting certain codes from different entities. It'll block you from different languages that you've never seen before. Why? Because everything is communicating on a grand scale. The internet wasn't made by man. Many state that it was given by other entities. Many stating that it was founded upon, meaning that we just using it and we only have a limited access, and that we really don't know what we're doing. See, once you look at this whole internet thing, we're using it locally. Our world. We're seeing what can go on in Africa, China, Kenya, Japan. We can see all of that from our point. But when we really get to using it on a grand scale, as I state, it'll be otherworldly things going on that the masses are not ready for.
Yeah. Open that third eye, y'all. As we get in tune, get all the information we can consume, I should say. Not assume. You gotta get correct information. If you get bad information too, you don't want to assume that. But you gotta get the good shit. Fucking make sure we be on top of the game. We ain't caught with our pants down. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it.
I'll probably get arrested for what I'm about to say, but fuck it, no one else will say it, so I will. My name is Hunter Howell, and it is time to abolish our government. And before I'm arrested for saying that, I need to give a source. My source, the Declaration of Independence. Word for word, here's what it says. In the Declaration of Independence, when a government becomes destructive to the rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, it is the right and duty of the people to alter or abolish it. Real quick, before the FBI comes breaking down my door for this video, Purple Populist Show, I'm gonna probably need a good lawyer because I'm gonna start turning up the heat as I promised I would this year, and specifically tell us it's time to abolish our government. So $5 a month, link is in my bio. You better fucking click it now. Link in bio or comment link or comment show. It's $5 a month. Subscribe now. I'm going to give 3 very clear and concise examples of how our government has become destructive to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life, bombing Iranian civilians.
I mean, I can't really say that that was us bombing Iranian and shit like that. When it was that school, because I heard that was the inside job anyways. But you never know. You never know. Shit, let's get back to it. You know what I'm saying?
When a man stops fighting for you, understand this. He didn't stop caring. He stopped believing that his effort mattered because every gesture was dismissed. Every attempt to lead met with resistance or criticism. That isn't him giving up on you. That's him finally accepting the pattern. Men don't bond by talking about feelings. They bond through action, through providing, through showing up, through having their presence felt. When a man offers his time, his resources, his protection, and it's treated as expected instead of valued, something inside him shifts. Not loudly, not dramatically, quietly. He doesn't announce that he's pulling back. He just stops extending himself into spaces where he isn't honored. That isn't weakness. That is self-preservation. That is maturity. And here's what most women miss.
It would have been nice to know. But they put in it.
Tucker Carlson just came out and exposed the United States and Israel. He recently stated the truth is, after this war, it's impossible to say Trump's Republican Party, MAGA, is acting on behalf of the U.S. It's acting on behalf of Israel. That's just a fact. It is such a betrayal. Watch this.
After this war, it's impossible to say the Republican Party, Trump's Republican Party, MAGA, is acting on behalf of the United States. It's acting on behalf of Israel. And that's just a fact. It's a fact. I mean, that's not a conspiracy theory. They said that. Marco Rubio said that on camera. So we went into this war following Israel. So it's like, that is the opposite of America First. That's America in the subordinate position, the female position, the bottom in this relationship. And that's the opposite of what we thought we were getting and what they told us we were getting. It's like, it's such a betrayal that anyone attached to that is going to have a hard time reestablishing trust, even if he's a good man. And JD Vance is a good man, but I think it's hard. It's like, you know, you're part of that. I mean, how could you betrayed us? And it's the betrayal that makes it so bitter for people like me and maybe you who voted for Trump, and I campaigned for and with him. You know, it's like, really? We really believe that you were going to at least try? And in the end, it's all about cryptocurrency scams and wars for Israel? I mean, I can't believe you did that. Hiding the Epstein stuff? Yelling at anyone who asked questions about the Butler shooting? Are you kidding? I'm an adult. I'm from this country. Like, I own this government. I own exactly as much of the government as you do, because we're both citizens. How dare you speak to me the way you work for me? Like, that's how I personally feel about it. Like, I'm outraged that someone I supported would do something like this, would betray the country and his own voters, and then to whip around and say, I'm not loyal. I'm not loyal. I am loyal. My whole life is marked by loyalty. I'm married to my high school girlfriend. I believe in loyalty, okay? You're disloyal. You sold out the country to a foreign nation. It's just too much.
Hey. No lies detected. Hopefully y'all don't neglect it. You know what I'm saying? We gotta learn from something. Might as well learn from this dude.
To some people in this room, what I'm about to say may sound a bit controversial, but it's not controversial because it's true. America is a Christian nation. We're founded upon Christian values. Our founders believed that our rights did not come from government, but they came from God. Those ideals shaped our institutions, our culture, our laws, and the very moral foundation and fabric of what I know is the greatest country in the world. Now, America is also a country that welcomes people from all backgrounds of every culture and faith. That's actually what is a part of our greatness. And as somebody like me that fought in combat to ensure that anyone could come to this nation and believe what they want to believe and believe in the First and Second Amendment rights, I welcome that more than you could ever believe, because I laid my life down on the line to ensure that that would happen. But let's be clear about something. Assimilation to American values and ideas matter. When we begin importing belief systems and cultural values that are fundamentally incompatible with the principles that build this nation, we should not be surprised when the social fabric begins to fray. Let me be clear. This is not hateful. This is not racist. This is not xenophobic. And I can show I'm not racist. I've been black for like my whole life, for like 44 years. I say the Sharia law has no place to usurp our Constitution in these United States of America, and especially in our schools, and especially in our public institutions. America's legal system is rooted in the Constitution and equal justice under the law, not religious extremism or parallel legal systems. We have learned from many of our colleagues on the left that this tends to be how they tack in this general direction. 10 Commandments, not allowed. Bad. Islamic pamphlets, good. 10 Commandments, bad. Free Qurans in schools, good. 10 Commandments, bad. Understanding Sharia law, brochures, good. This is the hypocrisy that we Christian Americans are quite sick of. The same people who mock or marginalize America's founding values suddenly become deeply tolerant when the ideology in question is directed against Western traditions and institutions. Meanwhile, Sharia law is normalized and distributed to children in school, while expressions of traditional faith are treated like a threat. Here's how things should work. Math, yeah. Free Qurans? No. History? Yeah. Sharia brochures? No. Science? Yeah. Shahada cards? No. This is a very simple idea that should be understood by all Americans. One of my best friends is a Muslim American, and he is a fighting Texas Aggie, but he actually sees himself as an American first and has fully embraced our culture and what it means to be an American. That's good. That's what we want. That's why we call this place a melting pot. I'm seeing a lot of talk from my colleagues on the left, too, as we shift toward this reinvigorated talk about Jim Crow and the past of this country. And as someone who is a
Mind-boggling. You know what I'm saying? But shit. Yeah, I listen to me say it. Let's hear one from Joker, right?
I want to know what it is. It's 8 to 12-hour workdays with 30-minute lunch breaks, which end up being 15 when all is said and done. Let's be real. It's going above and beyond my post for my employer. With what incentive? You're not paying me more to do somebody else's job. You're giving me a half of an hour lunch break that I get to use about 15 minutes of. By the time I'm done eating, my food hasn't hit my stomach by the time I'm going back to work. And you want me to go above and beyond for you. What? So my $10 to $12 an hour wage can get taxed into oblivion, and my $500 paycheck can turn into a $300 paycheck, so I can just barely get by, so I can just barely put food on my table. You want to know what it is? You want to know what it is? If that were all, I might, probably not, but might be able to get by. But you know what it is? It's at the end of my work shift. It's, hey, do you want to stay late? Do you want to stay late? No, I don't want to stay late. I want to go home 10 minutes early. I want to go home right now. I want to go home before I clock in. What do you mean? Stay late? For what? For what? For what? Because the first 10 hours of overtime is also taxed into oblivion. I could do 10 hours of overtime and see less money than I saw if I didn't work the overtime at all. What do you fucking mean? Do you want me to... You want to know what it is? It's Bayer owning Roundup. It's Vanguard and BlackRock. It's 6 years of no indictments. It's missing scientists. It's agendas. It's a maniac. It's a maniac running this shit show into the ground while gaslighting the public the entire time. It's so many things. It's private equity. It's being taxed into oblivion. You want to know what really takes the cake? You want to know the cherry on top? It's that if all the people who just said, we can't do that, the government will do this, just fucking did it. If everybody who said, oh, we can't do that, just did it, there would be change. There would be noticeable change. Nepal did it. Gen Z did it in Nepal in 48 hours. I mean, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? What happened? Your balls drop off? I'm tired. Change your withholdings. File exempt. 1099, don't file. Take your money out of the bank. Sure, they'll print more, but guess what? Just invest it in gold and silver. Start doing something, people. The longer we wait, the harder it gets. The more control they have. And they've got just about all of it. It's time to take it back.
Thanks. But we keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Special news bulletin. Check it out.
When a man stops fighting for you, understand this. He didn't stop caring. He stopped believing that his effort mattered. Because
hold on, bro. They found what now? These folks found who at what party? At what time? Where? Nolan Wells' family attorney Benjamin Crump posted an update about 4 hours ago that completely changes this entire case. Benjamin Crump posted, listen, social media allegations claims there is a photo of Nolan at a land-based pool party in Jackson County before 1 a.m. on July 5th. Before we even get into the picture or where the picture came from or if the picture is legit or not, we have to first explain why this picture would be very crucial and important to this investigation if it's discovered that Nolan was at a pool party at 1 a.m. on July 5th. July 4th at 9:55 p.m. Pacific time, 11:55 p.m. Central, which is their local time in Mississippi, Nolan mama came to Facebook and reported him missing. So at 11:55 p.m., Nolan's parents and family couldn't get a hold of him. His friends are saying they hadn't seen him since they left the island, and Nolan was officially reported missing at 11:55 p.m. So why is there a picture of Nolan at a pool party at 1 a.m.? Y'all not thinking hard enough if you don't got the answer yet, bruh. If I'm saying, why is there a timeline of Nolan at a pool party at 1 a.m. on July 5th, but Nolan was a reported missing person at 11:55 p.m. their time, and the friends hadn't seen him, the parents hadn't seen him, the parents had went to go grab his phone by 11:55 p.m. The parents were in possession of Nolan's phone by 11:55 p.m. So ask yourself for a second, why is there now reports that Nolan was at a pool party at 1 a.m.? We are dealing with real-time COINTELPRO, the people who you believe is working in good faith, the people who you believe is giving you some amazing information. There are actual agents of chaos and people among us who are working against the mission. These are people, suspected white supremacists, probably. The agents of chaos are now working overtime once the photo came out. You see, the photo coming out done blew this shit open. The photo coming out done, you cannot hide anymore. The photo already blew this case open. The photo took this from a suspected drowning to a murder. It's no buts if murder. So now the agents of chaos, according to a process, coming in trying to muddy up the game, trying to throw in salt to make the photo look less impactful. Nah, not happening. Let's break down the real. This is the photo right here. This is who they're saying is Nolan. Now the source of the photo and what happened to the photo immediately after it went viral.
Yeah, I think it was getting drunk or something. I don't see no other color folk there. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Damn, bro. I don't know what to tell you, bro. No other color people there, bro. You only brother. You ain't got black friends. Oh man. Oh man.
Here comes some more people coming. No, they're going that way, yeah. If you truly understand religion and philosophy, metaphysics and all that, if you truly understand all kinds of understanding, all measurements of reality, you'll understand they all merge in the same truth. You are what you think. If you think depression is real, that's just your world, not mine. I don't think about it. If you think about discrimination, that's because you're thinking about it. When I get discriminated, I don't even pay attention. I stay locked in. I don't believe in victim mentality. That's la la land, la 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 land. For you it's real, for me it's not. It's just that simple. You can tell me all you want how real it is. It's not that I don't pay attention, I'm just locked in. Energy flows where attention goes. Always remember, and you can't argue against that. If you do, you're arguing against God. Not me, but the rules of reality.
I wonder if that nigga could say Ken and Nennikin. You think so? I would hope so. Sound like he good people. Keep moving though.
Government shutdown. The war on black families is over now. Let's talk about it. It amazes me that throughout all of these generations, a lot of people can't see that food stamps, housing, WIC, all of those programs. Government shutdown. The war on black families is over now. Let's talk about it. It amazes me that throughout all of these generations, a lot of people can't see that food stamps, housing, WIC, all of those programs were put in place to replace the black man in the household. And then they use tactics like setting the algorithms and using black women that say the most atrocious things about black men, and it goes viral, and that is a form of brainwashing. Now that all of these ridiculous social media posts has black women turning their backs on black men, and there's no more government assistance, who are you going to get to help you pay those bills and feed those kids? It was the last play in their playbook, and they played their hand very well. Now, when those food stamps get shut off, that housing gets shut off, Medicaid is shut off, WIC is government shut down, the war on black families is over now.
Hey, that's what we trying to get to. Trying to make it to where they start trying to break us up, start trying to keep us together, and start trying to put us in a bad situation where ain't nobody trying to make it, it's better for us. Be better shit.
If you're on the West Coast, things are going to get crazy. It's not a matter of if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen. And from what I'm looking at, it's getting closer. I've been warning you all for about 2 years now. You've had plenty of time to make adjustments, save money, and get away. The movie 2012, where you see that the world, the earth split apart. Y'all remember that movie? When the man was in the plane, he went to go back and find his kids with the stepdad, blah, blah, blah. All right? That is a actual possibility, because you all been following me. You know that I've showed you the entire digestive tract of the dragon, all the way around into the Bering Sea, where the tail ends and the cloaca meets. All right? Where the cloaca is the poop chute, and where they lay their eggs. We just had a 7.3 earthquake and about 40 more earthquakes almost at the cloaca. That means that she is getting ready to push out something big. Okay? Now, whenever she has to push and that egg comes out, that tail is probably going to sweep.
Same. Waves is coming.
TikTok, how do we go from Venezuelan drug boats to stealing oil? Now, let's talk about it. If you follow me, you know that we've been chasing dragons and serpents for years. And the one in the Caribbean, well, she's starting to move. She's 9,000 miles long. She runs from the Caribbean all the way up through Alaska and the Bering Sea. And Alaska is starting to thaw out. Now, along our journey, we figured out something about the dragon. Oil. Where do we get our oil from? Write it in the comment section. Now answer this question. What happens when you drain the blood of any animal? I'll wait. Now, if you can't refreeze this animal, there's only one other way to stop it. And that's to drill, baby, drill. And this has been Donald Trump and his administration's plan from the beginning. To drill, baby, drill. Why? Because they know.
Mm-hmm. You gotta get that black gold up out of there, baby. You know what I'm saying? Let's get.
If there's one thing you know about Donald Trump, that is, he hates losing. And after seeing that funeral that the supreme leader of Iran had, did y'all see all of those people?
Oh my God. Jesus.
Now, Trump's been talking a lot about Iran trying to take him out and possibly getting the job done. But you know what? I think he's accepted it because he thinks he can beat the number of people at his funeral. Y'all know Trump is all about the numbers whenever it comes to rallies. Anything he's doing, it's always about how many people were there to show up for him. And after seeing that funeral of the Iranian supreme leader that the United States took out, with over 15 million people in attendance, Trump hates losing. I think he thinks that he can beat 15 million. Now, question is, are they about to martyr this guy? And this is for entertainment purposes only. None of what I said is factual. It's all BS, scripted, written down, TikTok. You know, I'm trying to be a great producer, like Spielberg, only better.
Only better. Only better. You know what I'm saying? Well, we just try and get in, you know what I'm saying? Get in where we fit it anyways. Because right now, they keep trying to push us out. We ain't going nowhere. Not today.
But I love my Hebrew Israelite brothers, but y'all be as slow as Christians sometimes and the problem is not that y'all not intelligent. And Christians and everybody is smart in their own way. The problem is,
my bad, y'all.
but I love my Hebrew Israelite brothers, but y'all be as slow as Christians sometimes and the problem is not that y'all not intelligent. And Christians and everybody is smart in their own way. The problem is y'all believe in faith-based science. Like, think about it. All education is kind of faith-based. You got to believe that 1 + 1 = 2, and that's how we structure our shit. And that's the same way you believe in the Bible. You've been taught something, you believe that something. I'll give you an example. I'm arguing on Facebook right now saying God didn't make clouds, that God didn't create the clouds. Period. I don't believe God created clouds. I believe all clouds are living beings that are spirits of the air. They're them principalities and shit. You understand what I'm saying? Clouds are living beings. They watch us, G, all the motherfucking time. Now, I argue God didn't make clouds. Show me the verse where God made clouds. When you ask the Hebrew Israelite to show you something, They show you a bunch of shit that means something, but doesn't say exactly what you're looking for. I said, no, bitch. Show me where God created clouds. This motherfucker shows this verse that says, when God says he will lay out the rainbow over the clouds for the, for the covenant that, he would never destroy us with a flood again. That was him creating clouds. No, it don't say that, though. It don't say that. He just said he laid a rainbow over the clouds. Meant the clouds was there. All right, how about this one? God said, I shall bring forth clouds. Bringing forth clouds over the earth is not the same as him making motherfucking clouds. Just because God said the shit don't mean that he created the shit. I'll give you an example. God talks about chariots, thrones, and all this shit. Name the verse where God created the throne or the chariot, motherfucker. Stop playing with me. Just because it's spoken about in the Bible don't mean God made the shit. And think about it like this. There's a verse for everything else that God made. Listen, everything that God created, the first thing he said was, oh, this shit good. It say it just like this. And God saw that it was good, motherfucker. He saw everything else was good except clouds. Think about what I'm saying. It showed where God created rain. It showed where he created the sky, where he created the water, where he created the dirt. It showed where God created everything except for two things, clouds and darkness, because God ain't make that shit. Clouds are all spirits. They're principalities. I mean, what did you think a rain dance was, though? If you could dance and entertain the clouds enough for them to drop you some rain, that motherfucker's alive. It don't even take that much thinking. There's a reason why they call a tornado the finger of God. That's the reason why, back in the day, they believed all weather anomalies were caused by the gods and spirits. They still are. They still are. You just don't understand them. Hebrews and Shebrews, you are the gods. Shalom Aleichem. But hey, I don't know shit. TikTok, this was just jokes. This was for shits and giggles. What the fuck do I know? I don't know a motherfucking thing. All I know is maybe that's the reason. That could be the reason why there's fluoride and barium and shit inside our water. And possibly, I know hypothetically there is a conspiracy theory. There's just a conspiracy theory that say that they spraying shit on us. There might be trails of chemicals. I don't know, but I don't know nothing either. All I do know is that the book is in stores. I'm telling you right now. Principles of the Living Word by Robert Barnes. It's an Amazon bestseller already. Listen to me. Link is in bio. You need to come on and get this information. Get this information. And also get my book, The Way of Stillness. They both in PDF form if you want to read them wherever the fuck you read them. Link is in my motherfucking bio. And not only that, even if you don't want to buy the books, just go to the link in my bio, scroll to...
He dyed his beard. Probably does. I don't know. I do not know. I know.
That's us. That's the ancient us. The real us. We was unified. Gorgeous beings. Fuck I want to rob you for. You create whatever you want to create. I'm creating whatever I want to create. Ain't no laws, ain't no restriction, ain't no heaven, ain't no hell, ain't no death, ain't no time, ain't no age, wasn't no none of that, wasn't no money system, none of that. None of the division tactics. Those are all money, look, economics is a division tactic. Politics, division tactics. What does economics do? It divides you because you got rich and you got broke. And you got middle class. What does politics do? It divides you because you was either Republican or Democrat. Why we couldn't all be together? What did religion do? It divides you. You either Christian, Muslim, goddamn it, Jehovah's Witness, Seventh-day Adventist, Mormon, Catholic, Buddha. You better be something though, but you still divided. What does education do? It divides you. Because the people that didn't graduate the elementary school, they can look down on motherfuckers that graduated from high school. And motherfuckers that graduated from high school, they feel they smarter than motherfuckers that didn't graduate high school, so they look down on them, like myself. And then motherfuckers because I dropped out of high school, because I chose to drop out, but I dropped out. So you got motherfuckers that graduate high school to look down on me and say, well, he dumb, he only graduated, he dropped out of high school and he went back and had to go and get a GED. Then you got motherfuckers that went to college, and they look down on the motherfuckers that didn't go to college. And then you got people that went to college, but they didn't graduate. So they can look down on motherfuckers that went to college and actually graduated. And then it's even more divided, because you only a bachelor's degree. But fuck that. Well, you got an associate's degree. But fuck that. The people with the bachelor's looking down on the people with the associate's degree. And the people with the master's degree looking down on the people with the bachelor's degree. And on and on and on. Education, more division. So they divide on every level. Education, economic, political, social, engineering, all divided. All segregation. You can go to any city in America, any city in the world and know when you in the hood. You shouldn't know that. You can tell when you're in the black and Latino area. You can tell when you're in the black area and Latino area. You can tell when you're in the white area. Any city. That's called segregation, man. That's social engineering. You look at the black community, nigga. We got currency exchanges, bro. In the white communities, they got banks. In our communities, we got Planned Parenthood on every corner. Meanwhile, in their communities, they trying to figure out how to have more babies. They getting shots to get to have more babies. But in the black and Latino community, they putting Planned Parenthoods and promoting abortion and your shit. Boy, you better remember who the fuck you are out there. Boy, this shit ain't no game. On every motherfucking level, it's division when it come to us. You feel me? That's all social engineering. This is Earth now. That's how this shit was on Nern. Because the real name of where they come from is Nern, and the nickname for that planet is Earth. Just like we had two names. Kai, Tiamat. Nern, Earth. This was Tiamat and Kai, and they bitch ass came and landed and changed this bitch to Earth. And that's exactly how we living, like fucking Earthlings. Like fucking savages and barbarians, in the same way they was living. The same way they lived back on Earth.
Mm. Mm. Damn, man. Tiamat looking good though. She waking up. Keep moving.
Else noticed how weird these storms have been lately? You know, there's been a lot of people who've said, hey, the thunder doesn't sound right. Like they are hearing this loud, drawn out, sort of roaring, almost like a growl sound. And there are all these people who are coming forward with these pictures of what looks like faces in the clouds before these bad storms happen. And myself, I've even noticed right before we've gotten some really, really bad storms, I'll look up in the sky and you see what looks like almost like this evil looking face. And it's always 10 or 15 minutes before the storm hits. I think they call them scud clouds, right? But you see these faces. So what is going on with these storms? Why are people experiencing weird things right before these thunderstorms happen? Now, there was this man named Kelvin. Kelvin said one day he was sitting out on his front porch. And he said it was just a nice sunny day. And he had his feet up on the porch and he was just watching the cars go by. He said it started to get dark. And when he looked up into the sky, he could see these very dark, ominous looking clouds. And he said they almost formed sort of this evil, demonic looking face. And it looked as if it was staring at him. And he said this storm just sort of grew bigger and bigger. And he started to see the lightning flash. So he runs inside and he gets his camera. And he said he started to record this lightning. And he started to record the storm because he thought it was pretty cool. Well, he said after about 5 or 10 minutes, he began to feel really weird, like something was wrong. So he said he ran inside the house and he thought maybe there was a tornado or something coming because he could just feel this eerie feeling. Well, he said as he was sitting in his house, it began to storm really bad. And that's when his phone started to ring. So he said he picked up his phone, and he could hear what sounded like a loud breathing sound. And then he said he started to hear these weird beeping sounds. Beep, beep, boom, beep, boom, beep. And he said it was just kind of repetitive over and over again. And every time this phone would ring, he said he would get this same phone call. You know, it was like someone breathing very loud and these beeping sounds. And he said it was strange because this number that would call him, it didn't seem like it was real. And when he would try and call it back, it would say that it was disconnected. So he throws his phone on the couch and he said he started to get kind of freaked out, like something was happening with the storm. And he said that's when it sounded like the house was shaking. And he said it felt like there was a hurricane outside. He said that's when he picked up the camera and he started to re-watch this footage of the storm. And as he's watching this footage, he said he noticed something he hadn't seen before. He said in the lightning, he could see this huge serpent-like figure moving through the clouds. He said every time the lightning would flash, it would be in a different position. And then he said he noticed something, not in the sky, but he said on the ground, where, you know, like you could see it from his house. He said he's seen something come down, like a shimmering light. And he said this figure of like a man appeared. And he said every time the lightning would strike, you could see the form of this man. And it would get a little closer and a little closer. He said that's when he threw down his camera. And he said this storm just seemed like it was angry at him. He said stuff began to hit the window. It started to hail. And he said he thought for sure, like his house was going to collapse and fall onto him. And then he said all of a sudden the storm just stopped. And he went outside. It was completely sunny. Said it was almost as if it hadn't rained. And he said the weird thing was he had checked the Weather Channel that morning, but it didn't say anything about rain that day. And he said he felt like that storm, there was something more to it, like it was alive and almost like it was coming after him. So what do you think? Are the storms we've been having lately strange or weird?
Mm. Mm. Weird way to look at things. Hard to picture it once you start looking. You know what I'm saying? Dudes over there talking about running from entities. They caught a dragon on camera. I want to see it. Where's the video? Yeah.
Blueface mama looked him dead in the eyes and said that at 9 years old, he was too pussy to help his mama out who was experiencing domestic violence from her current boyfriend. And she actually thought that shit makes sense. So if you want to ever see what a non-accountability taking black woman who masculinizes her sons looks like, please look at Blueface mama in the conversation they just had last night that's going viral everywhere. He told her that I seen you experience domestic violence with multiple men. I seen you deal with multiple men. I seen you have a sugar daddy. I never seen you have a stable relationship. And that's got a lot to do with why I view women the way that I do. And you tried to involve me and make me fight your current boyfriend when I was 9 years old. Do you know what she said? You had a roof over your head. I got you braces. I paid for your surgery when you tore your ACL. These are the women who contribute to, when they say, yeah, the father is gone, but you literally raising the next felon. Or when they say, yeah, you ostracize the father, push the father away, but you're raising the next statistic. This is what we talk about. Because Blueface's mama believes that a roof over his head and paying for braces and paying for surgery completely absolves her from being a piece of shit mother in other aspects. And this is, you can't actually have an in-depth conversation that helps heal, because she would rather blame a 9-year-old for being too pussy to fight for his mother than actually take accountability for putting her son in a situation she put him in. So you never actually reach an end goal. You never actually reach a solution with women like this, because it's not in their interest to be like, yeah, I was wrong. I should have done better. And I prioritize your feelings over being right.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, Angela, last time I rain danced, it started raining over here, so I'm good. What up? Clarissa is a real ass G. Hey, something wrong with that lady, though. There was no accountability. I think that's what was wrong with her.
Moroccan is what they call Americans. We're the Americans. We're the people of the land, and this ain't India, though they call us Indians. I'm Anyamwea, or what they call Cherokee. They ain't Cherokees, Anyamwea. And my grandmom's side is Blackfoot, and they ain't Blackfoot either. Do you understand? Those are European codes. And this is not India. We're Moabite, Canaanite blood. And we crossed the river before the great earthquake, so sometimes they call us Hebrew, those who cross the river, Hebrew. But that's not an identity, that's a thing we've done. Do you understand? Sure. Not to be confused with anything else.
Said ain't nothing wrong with his mama. I think there's something wrong with his mama. Something wrong with that. But that, you know, everybody entitled to his opinion, his and hers.
We know the truth now here. In ancient Egypt, the first people on the Nile put a depiction of their enemies inside of their sandal. As you see the sandal here, melanated people. Now, who are these people that you put inside the sandal that are enemies of the kingdom? Let's keep going. Now, not trying to be funny or nothing, but this is an African. See how the African is depicted with this certain type of hair in ancient culture in Africa? Let's keep going. And also, enemies routinely raided the borders and attempted to seize the fertile crop fields of the Nile Delta. These were the people who were the enemies of the first people in Egypt that built the pyramid. Let's keep going. Now this is King Tut, copper colored. As you see the hair, like the depiction of the African, enemies of Egypt. Some type of Arab type person and an African. Copper colored people are the first Egyptians. Let's keep going. Wall mural scene of arrows, some type of battle. Let's go look at these people up close. These are some type of Arab style people. Look. Let's keep going to the next mural. Here's another mural. Let's go check it out. Some type of African type people. Let's keep going. African, some type of Arab. Let's keep going. Copper colored people, African. Let's keep going. Copper colored people, African. Let's keep going. Under the foot, on the footstool, some type of Arabian person and an African. Copper colored people. Let's keep going. As you see here, let's keep going. On another sandal, let's keep going. Mummy foot case with enemy images on the mummy foot case. So is this really depicting some type of copper color Tamari person with Africans and some type of Arab type of person coming to take over the kingdom or steal the crops? We know the truth now.
That's weird. I always thought that whatever you use to batter the main you should use for the sides when it comes to tempura. 'Cause every time I went to one of the Japanese restaurants and stuff, they gave me the whole thing was a platter of tempura and stuff like that, chicken and shit. I don't eat shrimp, but anything that comes from the sea is scavenger. I don't try to stay away from it. But it's what you eat. You get good vegetables tempura everything.
What if I told you America did not win World War II? They lost, and lost bad now. Let's talk about it. Y'all remember when they told us that we won the war And then we went and took their scientists, you know, the Ashkenazi Jewish scientists, the ones that created the atom bomb. Now, number one, why would we need them if we dropped the atom bomb that we had already created? They would just be dead space. If we already had the bomb and the know-how in America to create that bomb, why save the Ashkenazi Jewish? Now, for those of you that follow me, you know I've pointed out lots of dragons. And you know where they dropped those bombs at? Hiroshima and Nagasaki. For those of you that know, you know. For those of you that don't, let me show you. Now, this was something different. What if I told you America did not win World War II? They lost, and lost bad. Now, let's talk about it. Y'all remember when they...
You couldn't do off at like the wrong time. Just when he be getting ready to tell us some good shit. He won't.
Did you know that if you tell the repo man, stop, don't take my car, they cannot take your vehicle. But if they do, you can sue the repo man and the lender.
I beg your pardon?
But you must record them and get them on camera. Oh, don't believe me? Let me show you. A breach of the peace is when actions by a creditor incite violence or are likely to incite violence, citing examples of threats, entering residence without permission, seizing over objection, and physical confrontation with oral protest.
Jesus Christ.
And this covers every single state.
Sensational.
But if your car gets repossessed, they must let you know where the car is at and how much it's going to cost to redeem it. If the car is sold at auction, they must let you know how much it's sold for and what the remaining balance is. This is called a deficiency notice. If they don't give you this, you can sue them for that also.
Yeah, baby.
I work exclusively with consumer law attorneys that charge zero out-of-pocket attorney fees because you may be entitled to thousands of dollars worth of damages.
I'm really that guy.
So make sure to call an attorney if you need one of our attorneys to help you deal with the whole ass repo company and fix your credit.
The no child thing. It should be good. It'll be good.
was a paper genocide that occurred, and there was the officials in Virginia deliberately expunged the records. They destroyed the official records and most of the private records. I've got a statement that gets into the whole thing, but basically, a lot of Virginia's ruling elite claimed to be blood descendants of Pocahontas, and in their view, that meant that no one else in Virginia could make a claim that they were Native American, a descendant of Pocahontas, because to do so would mean that Virginia's ruling elite would have to be classified as all other non-whites were, which was, in quotes, and this was the law, the inferior Negroid race. This is what it was about. And with enormous hypocrisy, Virginia's ruling elite pushed policies, got them passed, and it culminated with the Racial Integrity Act of 1924.
People have actually written over the record where it was put in that they were Indian, and someone went in and wrote black over it. And you can actually see in censuses from time to time where they may have been Indian in the first 3 censuses, and then the last 6 of their life they're considered black.
We are the original people of this land. We have been reclassified, but we was already living here when the Spanish, when the French, when the British came here. We've been here for thousands and thousands of years, not only in America, but in Canada, in Mexico, Central America, the Caribbeans. These people took over our lands, not only in America, but Papua New Guinea, Africa, Australia, the Pacific Islands, are the original home of people that look like us.
There was
That's from OGG, triple OG, double OG. You know what I'm saying?
All right, racist. So you may not look at all the family and immediately say that. You would just say, oh, they're black. You know, they're Gullah Geechee. But we also have indigenous ancestry.
Gullah is a unique English-based Creole language spoken by the Gullah Geechee people in the coastal southeastern U.S. Now, the lie that everyone was told was that the Gullah people originated from enslaved Africans on Sea Island rice plantations. The Gullah language is primarily oral and is considered the most well-preserved linguistic heritage for Black Americans. The vocabulary of the Gullah language comes primarily from English. So how could they be African? Gullah also has another dialect which is called Afro-Seminole Creole, which is still being spoken today in scattered Black Seminole communities in Oklahoma, Texas, and Mexico. The Black Seminoles' ancestors have historically been considered the Gullahs from South Carolina, Florida, and Georgia. But that's not the only tribal connection to the Gullah people. There's more! One of the largest places to house Gullah people was the Chicora Wood Plantation, which is the name of one of the indigenous tribes of America. The Chicora tribe was the first tribe to encounter Spanish colonizers in America in the 1500s. And how you connect the dots of the Gullah people being the actual indigenous people is this. The Chicora Wood Plantation was a rice plantation in Georgetown County, South Carolina, stolen by the European-American Alston family. Before this region was colonized by Europeans, the land was farmed and owned by the Catawba, Cherokee, Chicora, Edisto, Petey, and Santee tribes for hundreds of years. So if there were people farming on these lands already, they want us to believe they brought non-English speaking people to a land they know nothing about to farm on land that already has farmers. Which is a contradiction to the transatlantic slave story about the Gullah Geechee people. Because if there were tribal lands before with rice farms, that means the same people working the farms were the same people who owned the homes. And if they needed labor so bad for the farms, wouldn't you just use the farmers who currently operate the farms? The answer is yes, and that's what they did. Per the Government National Parks website, where I found this historical data, they made a disclaimer concerning the lack of facts for enslaved Gullah people, which is proof of a paper genocide. And per Google, in the 1900s, many indigenous non-federally recognized groups in South Carolina, including descendants of the Chicora, were classified as free persons of color, or mulatto, in census records. The exact same thing Walter Plecker did in Virginia. So don't ask indigenous Black Americans, what's your native language? It's Gullah, just like the first tribe spoke. And if you're from the South, you're either typing in it, speaking it, or cosplaying it.
Okay.
Look at this, bro.
It's a serious situation, so I'll start by reiterating what they both said. This is not a drill. Please, if you're in the map area, do not use water. This is a very serious situation. It's also a health situation.
It's a serious situation. How serious can it be when you have Jeff Bezos saying things like this? AI could be prioritized over human needs. That's because I'm telling you guys what's going on with the water. Did you guys see this? The project is called the United States Water Reserve because we all know that AI needs two things to operate. It needs electricity and water. Guess what's going on in the media right now? UN warns that AI will drink as much water as 1.3 billion people. I don't know if it's the PSYOP or anything like this, but the United States Water Reserve has been launched to the public, and since I've been talking about it, it has been going crazy. Obviously, there must be some validity to this because we see AI is taking over all over the place and it needs water. So all the billionaires are buying up all the water and they are tokenizing it on the chain, man. You don't believe me? Go check it out. Go on Google, type in USWR. This is not financial advice, y'all. Everything that you will need to know will be pinned in the comments below. We're in the digital age. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
According to psychology, people who often talk to themselves inside their head, where they're both the speaker and the listener, apparently that's not normal. Oh no. Yeah, what they're saying is the people that actually create scenarios inside their head where they're actually creating an argument and they're arguing about something or going back and forth, that's a little bit off. Okay. Yeah, they're saying that it's a form of self-regulation and a way to process things when they feel like nobody else understands them. Oh, fun. They feel like they've created a safe space where they can actually talk to and listen to themselves for the things that they don't want to say out loud, potentially to somebody such as their boss or something. Okay. So I think I'm going to go think about this and have a fake scenario and maybe argument in my head. Okay.
Hey, this dude never heard of, man, if you don't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. It don't mean you can't think the most diabolical shit in the world about something. You know what I'm saying? It does not mean nothing at all. So I give myself the best advice 100. Yeah, you're supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Supposed
Who is this?
The devil. What? That's the devil. That's the man called Caesar Borgia. Who? The son of Pope Alexander the Sixth of Rome. All right, this is an image that was painted by Leonardo da Vinci. It was also painted by Michelangelo. So this is, according to Revelation 13, the image of the beast. Jesus Christ was never white. Jesus Christ is a black man, according to the Bible, and you are the Israelites, black people. All right, that's who we are, the real Jews.
Okay, how do you know he's black?
It's in the Bible. Revelation chapter 1 and verse 14 and 15. Daniel chapter 10 verse 5 and 6. Daniel chapter 7 verse 9. Revelation chapter 2 verse 18. The Bible describes Jesus Christ as a black man.
He's right, you know.
You know what you think in the comments below.
Yeah. It's a different form of meditation. Yeah. Yeah. Good form.
And I talk about how we created the galaxies and we created the animals and things of that nature, right? We created the very fabric of matter all the way down to the atom itself, right? We created the elements, right? So the Atlantean state was far more greater than the Egyptian state. Okay. But let's talk about one of the greatest features they speak about, which is the pyramids. They want you to believe that the pyramids, because they let you know how fascinating the pyramids are, they still can't figure out how they were constructed. Right? To this day. One of the main reasons that they attacked Dr. York is because he had figured out how to build his own pyramids. You know something about a pyramid? Pyramids are perfect mathematically all the way around the board. 180 degrees, which is 8 plus 1, which is 9. Which is half of 360, which is 6 plus 3, which is still 9, because you cancel out the zero in numerology. Everything comes back to 9 because we are 9 ether beings. This is proven mathematically. Tesla said itself, he who understands the power of the 3, the 6, and the 9 has figured out the secrets to the universe.
Hit the indica and immediately started sneezing. That's a good terpene. That's all that is, a good terps. You know what I'm saying? But shit, it's about that time, y'all. Like, thank y'all for coming through. Appreciate y'all giving me good words and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, 5:25. How many hours we got left? Countdown is getting very, very near, y'all. We almost there, y'all. Almost there. But shit, you know, let's get it.
Free Rashad Jamal, they gave him 16 fucking years for waking the world up and exposing the elites, they wasn't fair. He taught a lot of spiritual things that most niggas never knew about this fucked up ass world. Like, what else was he supposed to do? He united the black community, something most of y'all can't do, but people steady hating on him. What the fuck? Like, I'm confused. His baby mama didn't wanna see him win, so she framed him. There was no proof, just a hearsay. They so shameful. Child molestation, they hit black leaders with the same thing to ruin our image, turn our people on us, then chain gang. How come y'all don't see this? This been happening for years. I'm tired of shit like this, that's why I'm never motherfucking fucking scared. Free Rashad till it's backwards. He was preaching like a fucking pastor. I know he missed his family. This whole world is a fucking disaster. Talking about child molestation, bitch, what about Epstein? And that list they stole free.
Mars. Only a fool would include his own death as part of a plan. Young lady.
Mars so cold, I think I'm done with ice. Birds, if I leave her, she gon' die. But bitch, you done with life. Okay.
Hey, and nothing hurts anymore. We're still the kids we used to. I put my to see it across to you. And nothing hurts anymore. I feel kind of.
The real flex is how many lives you can positively impact. It's not about cars, clothes, or clout. Influence means nothing if you're not helping somebody to grow. The legacy you leave won't be measured by what you had, but by who you helped. Real power